yeah, there's a disagreement in terms of whether this is a real fight or an exhibition, but really that's really falling on the side of Mayweather, since apparently he already signed the contracts, the deal was already done, he took some advances apparently on the actual agreed upon terms of the contract.
I want a real fight, so he signed what I signed. He signed a real fight, and I signed a real fight, and he got his advance, so there's no reason to make excuses of that.
Floyd the other day spoke to reporters in Vegas and stated,
just for the record, what the public doesn't know, Floyd Mayweather signed not one.
Floyd Mayweather has finally spoken out about the major controversy surrounding his advance payment for the Manny Pacquiao rematch, and what he is revealing has left the entire boxing world in shock. Sources say Floyd admitted during a private gathering in Las Vegas that he accepted upfront money not just for the Pacquiao fight but for 3 separate agreements that were signed between October and December 2025. People who attended that gathering say Floyd explained his reasoning in full detail and also addressed why he now wants to turn the officially sanctioned professional bout into an exhibition match, even though he had already received and cashed advance payment checks before making that decision.
And he also declined to show how much money he has already taken in advances on the 3 contracts. So according to Pacquiao Promotions, he's saying that Floyd took out advances, cash advances or whatever. So he's already been paid money in advance before the actual event, and now there's this.
Reports suggest that Floyd's explanation focused on protecting both his business interests and his legacy at the same time. Insiders say Floyd told the group that accepting advance payments is standard practice in big money fights and that he has done it throughout his entire career without ever facing any issues. According to people who were present and heard him speak, Floyd said something along the lines of having been in this game for 30 years and that advance payments help manage cash flow for training camps, taxes, and investments, and that this is simply normal business. Sources also claim that Floyd strongly emphasized that accepting money up front does not lock him into any terms that he personally believes are unfavorable or potentially damaging to the undefeated record he has worked so hard to protect and maintain throughout his legendary career.
Because I win. And sometimes I'm like, damn, well, we want to see him lose once, or we want to see something happen, because all he do is win. This is what God wanted.
What God wanted. Then Floyd shifted to explaining why he wants the fight to be reclassified as an exhibition. According to witnesses, people present say Floyd got very direct about not wanting to risk his perfect 50-win professional record against a 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao. And then they say, oh, he fought De La Hoya when De La Hoya was over the hill. We both was in our 30s at the same time. You know, then they say, oh, he didn't fight Canelo at the right time. Well, I was almost 40. Canelo is the same age that
his legacy as an undefeated champion is worth more than any single payday, and that putting that record on the line in 2026 makes absolutely zero business sense. Insiders report that Floyd said his record is priceless and questioned why he would ever risk 50 years of perfection for just one more fight when he can make the exact same amount of money by doing it as an exhibition instead.
In a similar spot, because you made so much cash, and if you invested even in common stocks, you should do pretty well. But I mean, listen, Mayweather never flies commercial. He's only flying private.
So he doesn't own his own plane? Right.
I don't know. Remember at one point he said he was buying like the jewelry district building.
Yeah, and they said
that wasn't true.
Was yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know this man's finances, but this guy told me that Mayweather is in financial problems.
See, here's the part about actually losing your money when you're on that level.
Sources claim Floyd also addressed the financial pressure rumors that have been circulating around him. Reports suggest Floyd acknowledged that he is currently dealing with multiple lawsuits, including unpaid Manhattan apartment rent exceeding $300,000 and jewelry debts owed to Miami jewelers totaling millions of dollars. According to people who were present, Floyd said that these legal issues are being handled by his attorneys and that they do not in any way reflect his actual net worth or his true financial position.
At this point, obviously signing multiple deals and getting in advance and having them pay you ahead of the fight. I mean, like, is that normal? Does that happen? You
I mean, you.
Nah.
Hey, yeah. Ocho, I've known
Right.
players that they burn through their money. They take out an advance on next year's salary.
Floyd mentioned that taking advance payments on fights helps him maintain liquidity while his legal team works to resolve various disputes without affecting his lifestyle or his training investments.
Pacquiao promotions. So I want the record to show that. Manny Pacquiao promotions, Mayweather, that's the one who's coming and saying that Floyd is in breach of contract. Pacquiao never wanted an exhibition. Quote, to put it bluntly, he doesn't want to do a pro fight suddenly, and he wants to do a pro fight when he was signing contracts and take.
CEO of Pacquiao Promotions has stated for the record that Manny Pacquiao Promotions is the one coming forward and claiming that Floyd is in breach of contract. Pacquiao never wanted an exhibition fight. To put it bluntly, he does not want to do a professional fight suddenly, even though he was the one signing contracts and accepting the deposits when a professional fight was clearly what was agreed upon from the very beginning.
It all comes down to how the deal is presented, who is backing the deal, and who are the people involved, and then how many people are involved, right? Just so you don't have any extra pieces that are not needed there.
Contractual breach accusations from Pacquiao's camp came up directly during Floyd's explanation, and insiders say that Floyd completely dismissed Jasmer's claims that he is violating any of the signed agreements.
I never really took any abuse, in the sport of boxing. Still extremely healthy, work out every day. And, I got an exhibition with Mike Tyson.
Floyd reportedly said something like contracts get renegotiated all the time in boxing and that nothing is final until both sides agree on every single detail, and that if Manny's team thinks they can force him into a professional fight, they are simply mistaken. Sources claim Floyd believes he has legal grounds to modify the bout's classification from a professional fight to an exhibition based on standard boxing contract language, which states that bout terms are subject to athletic commission approval.
Different dates, two different parties that ultimately got intertwined in a month of January, and this is all related to his return to professional boxing. First one, October 24th, the second one, November the 6th, the third one, December 14th. He received...
People present say Floyd then broke down the three separate agreements that Mata had referenced. Floyd explained that one agreement was for the Pacquiao rematch scheduled for September 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas. The second agreement covered his Mike Tyson exhibition, which was originally planned for April but has now been postponed to May and will be held in Congo. The third agreement involved the Mike Zambidis exhibition in Athens, Greece, which is scheduled for June. According to insiders, Floyd said he signed these agreements on different dates with different promotional partners, and that each deal included standard advance payment structures that allowed him to access portions of his guaranteed purses immediately upon signing.
Time to sharpen reflexes and timing without risking professional record or taking serious damage.
The people that I'm competing against, they always have to have a game plan. My game plan is just to be me. That's the game plan, just to be me. I don't worry about nothing.
Floyd mentioned that showing up sharp against Pacquiao in September requires actual fight rounds and not just sparring sessions. Insiders claim Floyd said you simply cannot replicate real fight conditions in a gym, and that he needs those exhibition rounds to be properly ready for Manny, whether the bout ends up being professional or exhibition format. The conversation then shifted to Floyd's perspective on why the exhibition format makes more sense than a professional fight. According to reports, people who heard him speak say Floyd explained that at 49 years old, he has passed the stage of his career where proving himself competitively still matters. Floyd mentioned he has already accomplished everything possible in professional boxing, including 50 wins, 0 losses, world titles in 5 weight divisions, and nearly $1 billion in career earnings. According to sources, Floyd said making the Pacquiao rematch an exhibition preserves his legacy while still giving fans the spectacular event they want to see. Floyd apparently also addressed the criticism that he is scared of losing to Pacquiao, and insiders claim Floyd laughed at the suggestion and said he beat Manny decisively back in 2015 when both men were younger and in far better condition. Floyd mentioned that if he was ever going to lose to Pacquiao, it would have happened 11 years ago when Manny was a much more dangerous fighter. Sources say Floyd's words were something like he is not scared of Manny Pacquiao and that he already proved he is the better fighter and that this is purely about business decisions and protecting everything he has built over 3 decades. The Netflix streaming deal also came up as another major factor in Floyd's thinking, according to reports. People present say Floyd explained that Netflix's global distribution reaching over 325 million subscribers means massive viewership regardless of whether the fight is classified as professional or exhibition. Floyd mentioned that the exhibition format does not diminish the event's entertainment value or its earning potential. According to insiders, Floyd said Netflix actually prefers the exhibition format because it reduces liability concerns and regulatory complications across the international markets where the fight will stream simultaneously. Floyd's team's legal position on the contractual dispute was also discussed, and sources claim Floyd explained that his attorneys believe Pacquiao's camp is misrepresenting the binding nature of the signed agreements. Floyd said that while he did sign documents in October, November, and December, those agreements included provisions allowing either party to request modifications to bout terms, including the professional versus exhibition classification. According to people who were there, Floyd said his lawyers are confident they are not in breach of anything and that the contracts have flexibility built in for exactly these kinds of discussions. Floyd then addressed the advance payment issue directly and explained why it does not obligate him to specific bout terms. Insiders say Floyd explained that advance payments are standard loans against future earnings and not payments for completed services. Floyd mentioned that if the fight does not happen or if terms change significantly, then advance payments get recalculated or returned based on the final negotiated terms. Sources claim Floyd said he has taken advance payments on dozens of fights throughout his career and that terms have changed multiple times before final bout agreements were ever reached. Manny Pacquiao's team fired back immediately after Floyd's explanations became public. According to reports, people close to Jos Matter say the Pacquiao camp CO released a statement calling Floyd's explanations desperate attempts to justify breaking his word. Matter mentioned that Floyd signed specific documents with electronic signatures, including device IDs and IP addresses, proving he knew exactly what he was agreeing to. Sources say Matter's statement included the claim that Floyd can try to rewrite history, but they have ironclad documentation showing he signed for a professional fight 3 separate times and took money each time. Pacquiao's camp also addressed Floyd's claim about contract flexibility, and insiders report that Matter said the agreements Floyd signed contain no provisions allowing unilateral changes to professional versus exhibition classification. Matter mentioned that Floyd's legal team is trying to create ambiguity where none actually exists. According to sources, Matter's position is that Floyd either honors the professional fight he signed for or returns all advance payments and faces breach of contract litigation. Boxing experts then began weighing in on Floyd's explanations and the broader legal situation. Reports suggest Teddy Atlas commented on ESPN that Floyd's behavior is classic Mayweather, taking money while keeping options open to change terms whenever things do not suit him. Atlas mentioned that this is exactly why the first Mayweather-Pacquiao fight took 5 years to make, because Floyd always negotiates from a position of maximum leverage. According to insiders, Atlas said Floyd believes the rules do not apply to him the same way they apply to other fighters. Stephen A. Smith's take on Floyd's advance payment admission was apparently very harsh, and sources claim Stephen A. said on First Take that taking money for a professional fight and then trying to convert it to an exhibition is borderline fraud. Stephen A. mentioned that advance payments create binding financial obligations and that Floyd cannot simply pocket cash and then change the deal's fundamental terms. According to reports, Stephen A. said this is exactly why people do not trust Floyd, because he takes your money and then tries to rewrite the agreement, and that is simply not how contracts work. Max Kellerman analyzed the legal implications during his podcast, and according to insiders, Max broke down contract law principles, explaining that advance payments against future services do create binding obligations if the service parameters are clearly defined. Max mentioned that if Floyd's contract specified a professional bout in exchange for advance payment, then changing to an exhibition format could constitute a material breach. Sources claim Max said the dispute will likely end up in arbitration or court unless both sides are willing to compromise. The Nevada Athletic Commission's position became relevant when reporters asked about sanctioning, and insiders say commission officials stated they have not yet received any bout application from either Mayweather or Pacquiao's camps. The commission mentioned that classification as professional versus exhibition must be specified on the bout application, and both fighters must agree before any approval is granted. According to sources, commission officials said they will not sanction a bout where the two fighters disagree on fundamental terms like professional versus exhibition format. Floyd's financial situation became a major discussion point after his advance payment admission, and reports suggest financial analysts examined Floyd's recent lawsuits and spending patterns. One analyst mentioned that Floyd's lifestyle expenses exceed $20 million annually, including private jets, luxury cars, jewelry, real estate, and entourage salaries. According to sources, the analyst said Floyd may have serious cash flow issues despite his massive career earnings, which explains why he is taking advance payments on multiple fights simultaneously and scheduling 3 bouts in 2026 after years of very limited activity. Joe Rogan's commentary on his podcast apparently went viral, and insiders claim Rogan said Floyd taking advance money and then trying to change bout terms is exactly what someone in serious financial trouble would do. Rogan mentioned that Floyd's recent exhibition opponent choices, including Logan Paul Deji and John Gotti III, suggest he needs money but wants absolutely zero competitive risk. According to sources, Rogan said Floyd is addicted to the lifestyle and needs constant cash flow to maintain it, but is no longer willing to actually fight real fighters anymore, and that this Pacquiao situation proves it entirely. Legal experts analyzed potential outcomes if the dispute goes to court, and reports suggest one sports attorney said Pacquiao's camp has strong grounds for breach of contract litigation if they can prove Floyd signed agreements specifically stating a professional bout in exchange for advance payments. The attorney mentioned that Floyd's public statements calling it an exhibition could actually be used as evidence of intentional breach. According to insiders, the attorney estimated Pacquiao could seek damages, including the return of advance payments plus additional compensation for lost opportunity if the fight ultimately falls apart. The Sphere venue's position added yet another complication, and sources claim Sphere officials confirmed they have conducted site visits with both camps and Netflix for a September 19th boxing event. However, Sphere mentioned they have not yet received final contracts or deposits. According to reports, Sphere officials said they are prepared to host either a professional or exhibition format but need clarity on bout classification before finalizing production plans and ticket sales. Netflix's involvement in the dispute became significant when reporters asked about their preference, and insiders say Netflix representatives declined to comment on professional versus exhibition classification. However, sources close to Netflix said the streaming platform invested heavily based on Mayweather vs. Pacquiao as the main attraction, and they are less concerned about classification than simply ensuring the fight actually happens. According to people familiar with Netflix's position, they believe either format will generate massive viewership. Betting markets reacted strongly to Floyd's advance payment admission and exhibition conversion attempt, and reports suggest major sportsbooks suspended betting on the fight until the classification is finalized. One oddsmaker mentioned that professional bouts and exhibitions have completely different betting rules and payout structures. According to sources, the oddsmaker said they cannot offer lines when they do not know if this is a real fight or just an exhibition because the distinction matters enormously for betting purposes. Floyd's next steps became the main focus after his explanations, and insiders claim Floyd's team scheduled a meeting with Pacquiao's representatives and Netflix executives to resolve the dispute. Sources say Floyd is willing to compromise on some terms but will absolutely not agree to a professional classification that puts his 50-0 record at any legitimate risk. According to people close to Floyd, he views this as his final negotiating position.